Hello, everybody. I'm Ashley. I'm a doula and motherhood guide. And more importantly, I'm here because I am passionate about supporting pregnant and new mothers. I have two children, almost 5-year-old and almost 3-year-old, two daughters. And I started this journey after I had my second child. I felt very alone, isolated. I felt unheard. I felt very vulnerable, and I needed some soft, non-judgmental advice and guidance. I felt very overwhelmed from all of the information that was available to me as a mother. And often I was getting information from health providers that I believed to be the right information because they were a doctor or a health nurse or a midwife. And often I found through experience, through motherhood, that unfortunately I wasn't getting the right support that I was after. And I learnt from making these mistakes. It wasn't until I made these mistakes that I truly understood how important it is to have someone who's trained in postpartum to support me through that journey. So I trained as a postpartum doula with Julia Jones from Newborn Mothers, and I connected with a wide range of doulas, postpartum doulas, birth doulas, and I started to learn about the roles of people in postpartum and pregnancy. I learned about all of the birthing classes available, all of the services that are available, physiotherapy, lactation consultants, massage, pregnancy massage. And I started to learn the benefits. The more I connected with these wonderful experts in their professions, the more I learned about what they were doing. I learned about prenatal yoga, prenatal Pilates, postnatal Pilates, postnatal yoga, movement and body, mindset. I started to really form a big picture of what women and mothers needed in postpartum. I've read dozens and dozens of books, on postpartum, motherhood, mindset, and I've been on my own journey. I'm a new mum myself, so I'm only 5 years into this, including pregnancy, maybe almost 6 years, but I am a new mother myself, and I threw myself into this journey because I wanted to help people through the pain that I'd gone through. I had had a relatively easy transition from having no babies to one. I was so excited when I was pregnant. I couldn't wait to meet my baby. I questioned whether I was going to be a good mother. I didn't know if I was going to be a good mum or if I was going to be selfish. I battled a lot with my mindset. I had a lot of mindset things going on, confidence things going on, and I'm a very sensitive individual as well, very sensitive, very soft. I'm an empath. I connect really well to people and I can feel their feelings really strongly, and I'm very raw. And I came on my own journey when I became a mother. I started to evolve into the person that I wanted to be, the kind of mother that I wanted to be, and the kind of woman and wife that I wanted to be, moving forward. It was kind of like a new life. I was, when my baby was born, I often say when a baby's born, so is a mother. And that's exactly how I feel. I feel like I was reborn. I was born into this new life, and I could be whoever I wanted to be. And I wanted to be the best version of myself for my child. I had so much love and so much drive to want to be a better parent than maybe what I had experienced myself. I was hung up on what I had and what I want to create for my child, and a lot of that still drives me today. I've come a long way with trying to be more compassionate to my parents, and I understand a lot more now that of the struggles of parenthood and some of the things that happen, but I still have that real deep desire and passion of supporting women through pregnancy and through the early stages of motherhood, the first few months of motherhood. And my goal is to give women the confidence in themselves. You can read a million books, they're going to have conflicting advice, information. I don't believe it's anyone's job to tell you how to be or what kind of person you should be. But often you'll find in motherhood or pregnancy, that's what happens. You get well-meaning advice from people like your mother-in-law, your mother, your friend, your sister, co-workers. I've experienced it all. And, it's suffocating being told all the time who you should be, how you should be. You're constantly getting digs, oh, when I had my baby was a good baby and it slept all night long, and I breastfed with one hand and I didn't have any troubles. I had no milk supply problems and blah, 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 blah. There's so much unsolicited advice that I got it was overwhelming. And in my vulnerable state as a new mum, I was really sensitive. I was really hurt. I was feeling isolated, alone. I didn't feel I could trust anybody. I felt like I felt very vulnerable. You know, I didn't get the best support at nighttime in the hospital. I had a midwife that wasn't very kind, and I was really shook up after my experience after birth. I had an unplanned, unwanted cesarean. I was feeling like a failure as a mother. I didn't feel like I gave birth. And then to top it off, I had breastfeeding issues with my daughter. I had a midwife come in the house the next day after I'd been home and sent my husband out for formula. And, you know, my confidence was shot as a mother. I was slowly learning to bond with my baby and connect with her and learn the things that I needed to do. But every time I saw someone, they were telling me that this isn't right, that isn't right, wake my baby up, don't wake my baby up. And I started to rebel against the advice that I was giving when it didn't feel right for me. So in my heart, when it didn't feel right, I just said, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And then I just shrugged it off. But it was still in my mind, and I still would sit there and question, was that right? Did blah, 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 what did they say? Maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe I'm not, and the constant questioning. So my passion and my zone of genius and what I am doing with women now is supporting them in mindset. And I believe mindset is one of the biggest things that new mothers need, and that people in general need. But, my specialty is in pregnancy and motherhood, in the first few months. That's when we're most vulnerable in pregnancy, and when we've had our babies, we need that support. So I'm planning my third postpartum. I'm not currently pregnant, but I've been planning for a very long time, and I've been trying to nut out exactly what it is that I wanted, and also the sort of support that I offer. So here's what I'm thinking. This is what the support that I offer and what I would like. So in my postpartum, I've had two of them now, and my husband's really good with hands-on practical support. I teach mothers how to get the practical hands-on support and how to create their village. And I also, in my program, I also talk about, I educate and show you all of the options available to you regarding birth and the tests and all of the information that you kind of need, which is really helpful for a new mother, a first-time mother or pregnant woman, because you kind of want someone to guide you through that process, which is what I wanted. I wanted someone to hold my hand and give me all the options. And unfortunately, all the options weren't given to me. I was just told this is the one path and I had to follow it. Found out later there was plenty of paths, but I wasn't given the option. So now what I do is I support mothers to find all of the options available to them by providing them all the information and giving them information, so they can make an educated and informed decision that suits them, because everyone has a different story. We all come from a different culture. We all have different stories and mindset issues, confident issues. We all have different paths. Some of us have trauma. Some of us have sexual trauma. Some of us have had babies previously, or some of us have lost babies previously. Some of us are with new partners, and some of us are dealing with things that other people just can't understand. So it's not our place to tell people this is the one true path of being a mother, or this is the one true path of what you need to do, but it's giving you all of the options available so that you can decide and feel into and work and try this and see if that works, or decide, oh, that doesn't really work, so I'm going to try this option. So I wish I'd known that to begin with, and I wish I'd had someone to give me that option. But now I've created this for you so that you can go through that and have these options available for you and get the right support. I want you to understand how important it is to work on your mindset and have that practical support during postpartum and even pregnancy. So I talk about the practical support in my programs and in my courses. And what I do is I work with women in group programs and also one-on-one, and support them with mindset. So what I've been working on recently, and what I would like to do for my postpartum, is I have had, like, I'll get back to what I was saying before, I've had my husband support me through 2 postpartums. So he's been very hands-on. He'll stay home for a couple of weeks and do the cooking or whatever, and help me with the baby, change the nappies, help me with baths and, all that. Well, not really helping because it's his baby as well, right? We're doing it together. But He'll make sure I've got water, and I'll tell him whenever I need something. But what I really lacked and what he could not provide me is the womanly support and the connection. You know, I could tell him how I was feeling, and but he never understood. And I could try to tell him how I was feeling, and I could talk about my birth as much as possible, but he didn't understand. He, you know, I've talked about this to him extensively, and he, you know, he says to me, look, I didn't go through it, so I don't understand. I can't relate, and I don't understand. You're the one that went through it. So he just has no idea. He tries to be supportive, and he's wonderful, and he sits there and listens to me, and I cried on his shoulder a million times, which is nice. But what I really wanted was someone to tell me I was doing a good job, to hold my hand, or to look at me in the face and let me tell my story without any judgment, or any trying to, you know, tell me that everything was okay. Just let me tell my story and be heard, and have someone tell me that I was doing a good job, and to listen to me and help me through those times that I was berating myself for the choices that I'd made, or whether I was questioning myself, whether I was a good mum or not. Having someone there through the mindset and helping me, you know, when I was feeling low and I was crying and I was feeling really sad about, you know, everything that was happening, or I was feeling really isolated or lonely, but having someone there to support me, nurture me, nourish me. And that's what I offer now for mothers. So I can support mothers in home with that sort of service and support. And I have been with some beautiful clients who, you know, when they said to me, when they hired me, they said to me, you know, what I want is that womanly touch, and I want that connection. They have the practical support. They have people coming into their homes and looking after older children and cooking them food and helping with some of the chores. But what they didn't have was someone who was non-judgmental to talk about, to talk to and to listen to, and just, you know, talk about any little thing that was happening in their mind, which seems like a little thing, but it actually is a really big thing. And so we can set ourselves up for practical support and make sure that we're all supported, but who's actually looking after the mother? Who's providing that, you know, that non-judgmental support? So I just wanted to share a little bit about that, because I don't think I've shared this, exactly what my passion is and exactly how I support women, in full detail or depth. But I wanted to talk about just how important mindset is. Even now, me running a business, you know, I would say it's 10% work and actually 90% mindset, because there's always a fear, there's always a problem, there's always something, but it's always in the mind, and I'm always making it bigger than it actually is. And I know that that's the same with motherhood. You know, we might go on a tangent and think, oh, I need to learn more about my parenting, my toddler, you know, the toddler's playing up, and you've just had a baby, and, you know, you've just gone through 9 months of pregnancy, and perhaps what you don't need to worry about is a toddler. What you need to worry about is looking after yourself in this special period. So being able to draw back and actually, you know, go through and actually work through some of the things that, you know, are important to you in this very period of time, and discovering where these thoughts and these stories are coming from. Are they coming from yourself, or are they coming from other people and what other people are saying to you? I know myself that often, you know, I get on a drive and I want to do something, I want to start researching something because someone said something to me, you know, oh, you're not doing this well enough, you're making a rod for your own back, oh, I didn't have that problem. And I think, oh my goodness, is there something wrong with me? And I start Googling and start researching, and I realize that I'm not the only person in the world that's going through this. It's quite common, but that person had a throwaway comment, that gave me a lasting effect. And I know that so many mothers go through this as well. Anyways, I wanted to share that with you. If you're having mindset problems at the moment, or challenges, I shouldn't say problems or challenges, but I suppose that's what they are. If you're having mindset things happening at the moment, you know that that's the kind of support that you're after. You know that you don't have non-judgmental or guilt-free people that you can talk to, who aren't going to tell you you're doing the wrong thing or actually listen to you. If you've got a track record of mental health issues and you're worried about postnatal depression, or you've had trauma in your past and you're looking at someone to be supportive during this vulnerable time, as well as give you that education and guidance when you need it. I'm certainly here to support you and help you. If you're looking at connecting, just send me an email at hello@themotherhoodcircle.com.au or check out my website, www.themotherhoodcircle.com.au. I would love to hear from you. Jump on my Facebook page, The Motherhood Circle, and send me a PM. I would love to hear from you and connect. Just, I'm here to support you. So I hope that you're having a wonderful, uh, beautiful day. It's a beautiful hot day here in Queensland, and I want you to feel calm, confident, and connected. I wish that for every mother in their pregnancy and motherhood experience. I will release another video soon, and I hope to connect with you soon. Thanks, ladies. Bye.